From droids and Jedi to singers and samurai, and even mages and cats. So no matter what kind of nerd you are, this week had a little bit of something for everyone. Hey everyone, it's Tony here with Nerds Never Sleep, and it's time again for another weekly figure roundup. That's right, this is the time of the week where I bring you in, show you all of the statues, figures, and collectibles that I highlighted on the channel in the past week, using things like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks, and photo galleries across various social media platforms. Now, this week looks like it's been a lot busier than it has, but that's only because we had one specific day that I made a special video. Of course, we had May the 4th, which was our unofficial official Star Wars Day, where I brought you a variety of different Star Wars characters. Other than that, the rest of the week was kind of business as usual. So I started out things with a day I don't normally post on, which was, of course, Sunday. This time we had May the 4th on a Sunday, and it was Star Wars Day. So it's the day everyone kind of goes and celebrates Star Wars, and so I had to bring out some of my few Star Wars pieces that have survived in my collection, which are all by Kotobukiya. Of course, the trio of droids, R2-D2, C-3PO, and BB-8, of course, these are by Kotobukiya. This is the Artifacts line, and they actually all came out really, really good. No complaints here from me. And the amount of details that they put on these smaller 1/10s was very, very impressive. Now, these are the second iterations of C-3PO and R2-D2, obviously from the newer films because we had BB-8 in the set. And, you know, it is a really cool little set if you're looking for droids to place into your collection. And it was very reasonably priced back when they were doing these Artifacts Plus series Star Wars figures. Most of them came in duos or trio packs, and I think we had things like Vader that was solo, Darth Maul was a solo piece, things like that. But they were all smaller scale, and they made for some very nice displays. Had these magnetized feet, so you could actually make them secure onto their bases. Really, really cool trio of droids if they're the ones you're looking for. Now, accompanying the trio of droids was two badass ladies of the Star Wars Extended Universe. And of course, you know them as Mara Jade and Jaina Solo. Now, some of you may have noticed with Jaina, she's supposed to be wielding a lightsaber. It floats above, it attaches to her pinky finger, and it kind of looks like it's floating in her hand. Mine, I do know where it is, but I just cannot access it right now because it is actually underneath one of these shelves. It fell and rolled underneath. So until I move this shelf behind me, her lightsaber is MIA. But I do know where it is, so it will turn up eventually. These two ladies obviously are by Kotobukiya, again, part of their Bishoujo line, and still to this day, some of my favorite Bishoujos. And I do say that a lot, but there are so many good ones. I do wish we got more of the Star Wars pieces. Oh, it's such a shame that we only got these two, because I would have loved to have seen what we would have gotten with like Princess Leia. Could you imagine a slave Leia Bishoujo? That's instant buy. It would have been amazing. And again, just all the other cool characters we could have gotten, Padme, things like that. Like, we could have gotten some really awesome Bishoujos. And again, even going out more into the expanded universe, there was just an unlimited amount of awesome pieces. But when Lucas got sold, things in the license kind of fell aside. So anyways, I can highly, highly recommend any one of these Star Wars pieces that I highlighted for May the 4th. Check them all out. Let me know if you have any of them in the comments. And then we went to the usual suspects with Miku Monday. This time, however, it was not a Miku. We had a takeover by, of course, the pink-haired beauty herself, Luca. Now, this one is actually part of an absolutely beautiful trio of Miku, Luca, and Kaito, which was from the Acute song and video. Now, this is where basically the video there, Miku and Luca are kind of competing for Kaito's affection, so to speak. And it's a very, very cool song. It's a very cool video. And of course, this is the Amore version of Luca, which is the love version of Luca. They absolutely killed it with this prize figure, from the actual sculpt of the dress, the pose, even the hair, as long as it is done really, really well. Her facial expression is on point. It looks like she came right out of the game or the music video, whichever form that you've actually seen this in. If you guys can get your hands on this piece and the matching Miku, and if you're a Kaido fan, of course, get the Kaido as well. But these are very highly recommended, and I believe they are getting a reissue. I think I've seen the Mikus back out in the wild again, and I've seen pre-orders for Luca go up. So if you guys are looking for this one or the companion pieces, definitely get your eye on the pre-orders. So I didn't have a Twin Tuesday this week because I kind of got a little ahead of myself and recorded and set up posts for every other day of the week but that one. So that was my bad. I forgot. But I did give you guys quite a popular one for Waifu Wednesday, going to one of my favorite anime in recent memory, Frieren. Of course, it is her trusty companion, the very, very powerful mage herself, Fern, aka the babysitter of Frieren. Now, this is another of the Sega Luminasta, and they did quite a few of Frieren and Fern in different little poses. They were all pretty similar, but they have just some different like accessories or a slight variation to their pose so far. Like the Frieren that I have is actually her eating like the bread. And there are actually other versions with her holding her staff. There's a version of Fern with her holding her staff. So there are different variations to these. And honestly, you can't go wrong with any of the ones that you pick. I just thought that the more serious looking Fern with her kind of pushing her hair back and the Frieren nomming on the bread look really good together. Even though they don't technically have connecting bases, Fern's is a grassy kind of plain, and Frieren's is a like a walkway, like a cobblestone walkway. So their bases don't match, but they do still fit together really good. I'm a little bit more partial to this one and the version of her holding her staff that I think is the most recent one. So again, guys, highly recommend these ones, especially if you are a fan of the series. And then for Reincarnated Thursday, I decided, you know what, we needed a little bit of badassery. So for that time I got Reincarnated Slime, I went to the Samurai Master, the OG Kijin himself, the Sword Master Hakaru. Now this guy, for those of you who aren't super familiar with Reincarnated Slime, he is like the epitome of the OG samurai. He's actually got the closed eyes all the time, like he's always hyper focused. He looks like he's actually using a wooden sword, but it's actually just the way his sword is sheathed. It's a very basic looking blade. But man, he is a incredible master swordsman, and his character is kind of the he definitely does harken back to the old school like samurai. I'm not going to pull out my sword unless there's danger. You know, I'm not going to pull it on someone that's weaker than me. You know, very cool character. And he actually becomes like a mentor to the characters like Gobta and things like that, who are very weak, and trains them up to be a lot more formidable than they were previously. This is part of the Banpresto Otherworlder series, and while there are not many figures of him, this one actually did come out really good. So I can say I highly recommend it, especially if you are looking for a Hakaru on your shelf, because I think there's only 2 or 3 different Hakarus out right now. So you can't really go wrong with any of them because he is a badass. And I know he is the oldest character in the series. Well, looks-wise at least. But he definitely is one of the more badass characters as well. So I highly recommend him. And for Figure Friday, I had to go with a series that is very near and dear to my heart. Of course, going back to the sillier side of the Persona series with this Persona 4 dancing Mona or Morgana from Sega. This thing is really cool. He's obviously from the Persona dancing games, and if you know me, you know I love Persona, all iterations of it. the dancing games, the fighting games, the RPGs, the tactic games. I love them all. There is not one that I actually dislike. And this Mona is so freaking cute. And I am not even a cat person, but they did such an amazing job on the dancing Mona that I really do wish we would have gotten an entire set of all the dancing characters. Even if they weren't going to be the same size as him scale-wise, he would still look really, really cool just in the center of them, looking like this larger-than-life piece. I absolutely adore this one, guys. And I know I say this about all these figures, but if you can get one of these, I do highly recommend getting your hands on one because he's becoming more and more rare as the Persona games go up in popularity, which is a good and a bad thing for those of us who are Persona diehards and want to get every single piece of merch. And then I didn't actually do a Saturday post because I had done a Sunday post for this week as well. So it kind of did even up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like I usually do. So did pretty good this week. Now, what I usually do is I give my favorite high-end statue and my favorite low-end piece for the week. This time I had technically 3 higher-end things with the Bishoujo and the Artifact series stuff. Now, I'm going to give it to my girl Mara Jade here because, again, she is still, to this day, one of my favorite Kotobukiya Bishoujos. And, man, she is just phenomenal. Now, for the lower-end stuff, it is a tough choice for me because I have some great pieces that I really do love, but it's going to go to Luca. She's the first thing that pops into my head. This Amor Luca is so freaking pretty. And it just, man, we need more of the other Vocaloids other than Miku. As much as I love Miku, we do need some companions for Miku. And this brings me to a point that I actually kind of get into a lot on this channel, where I really would like to see more of these duos and trios and pairs of matching characters in the prize figure lines, because it kind of makes them a little bit more fun to display when you've got the companion pieces. So with this one, obviously we had Miku, Luca, and Kaito. But those were my picks for the week, guys. Let me know in the comments what your favorites were and what you guys would like to see in the future. Now, as far as the page updates, this is going to be quick. I've been focusing again on live streaming and game streaming because I have a blast doing it. I have been doing more sword art and some more of the amazing Expedition 33. Oh, guys, cannot get enough. It's such a good game. If you guys have not played it, oh, you've been sleeping on probably my front runner already for Game of the Year. I'm absolutely blown away by it, and it's incredible. If you have not gotten it yet, you should. Just no questions asked. Just get it. Amazing game. Oh, I haven't felt this way about a game in a very long time. And as far as videos go, I didn't really put out much this week other than the one weekly roundup. Now, for this week, I actually had one that dropped before the weekly roundup, which was Yelena from Iron Studios. Those of you familiar with her from the Black Widow film, which is what the statue's from, the Thunderbolts, or the New Avengers, whatever have you. If you guys are interested in Yelena or a fan of her, check out the video and let me know what you guys think of the statue. The rest of the week, I've got more game streaming. I'm going to be going back to Expedition 33 and trying to finish Sword Art Online Last Recollection. Got a couple unboxings. Not sure, again, which one's going to be ready for Friday/Saturday, but I'm going to be dropping at least one other unboxing video. Then for next week, I've got some more what's in the box content that it's going to be getting ready to drop. See if there's anything you guys are interested in seeing me do or highlight. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the page updates. I know this is the boring part, but hopefully you guys stuck around long enough for it. If you did, let me know. What are you guys looking forward to checking out next? Are there any things that you're actually looking to see a closer look at? And are there any other themed weeks you guys would like me to do? The Miku Week, Avengers Week, Marvel Weeks have been very, very popular. So if you guys have an idea for a theme week, let me know in the comments below. And that's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, do me a solid. Click the like button, the subscribe button, the share button. Spread the nerdiness. Follow on all the social medias. The links are down in the description below. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.